Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're journeying way out to the solar system's edge, taking a closer look at Pluto.
That's right. Once planet number 9, now known as a dwarf planet, but maybe even more interesting because of it. We've got some material here sort of guiding our chat.
Yeah, our mission, if you will, is to uncover some of the really compelling stuff about Pluto, especially with all the new discoveries.
Exactly. Forget just the planet debate for a second. We're talking ice volcanoes, this really unique relationship with its moon Charon, and believe it or not, even a current astrological transit involving Pluto.
Okay, ice volcanoes. Let's definitely get to that. But first, Pluto itself. Discovered back in, what, 1930?
Yeah, 1930 by Clyde Tombaugh, and it held onto that 9th planet title for, well, quite a long time.
Until 2006. Right. That's when the International Astronomical Union stepped in.
Right. They brought in the dwarf planet classification. And, while that caused a stir, scientifically, Pluto hasn't become less interesting at all.
If anything, more so. It seems like we're paying closer attention now.
I think so. It makes you look again, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And the New Horizons mission, wow, that gave us some incredible close-ups.
That's where the cryovolcanoes come in, isn't it? These massive ice volcanoes.
Precisely. The data showed these huge features. Wright-Mons and Picard-Mons are two big ones. They really look like volcanoes, but instead of lava.
They erupt ice, or something like it.
Well, icy slush, apparently. That's the evidence, which is just fascinating to think about.
Icy slush erupting on Pluto. Okay, so what does that actually mean? What's the big deal?
Well, the big deal is it strongly suggests Pluto might have, or at least had, a subsurface ocean. Liquid water,
Liquid water. And some kind of internal heat to keep it liquid.
Exactly, an internal heat source. For a body that small and that far from the sun, it's kind of remarkable. It suggests these small, cold worlds might be way more geologically active than we ever thought.
Huh. That definitely changes the picture. Okay, and then there are the moons. Pluto has 5, but Charon's the big one, right?
It is, yeah. Charon's huge relative to Pluto. And there's this recent theory about how they got together.
The kiss and capture thing sounds gentle.
Sort of, yeah, compared to a giant smash-up anyway. The idea is that billions of years ago, they had a relatively gentle collision, or maybe a near miss, with strong gravitational interaction.
Okay.
And instead of destroying each other, they ended up gravitationally bound, tidally locked, orbiting each other like they do now.
So not a crash, more like a cosmic dance that ended in partnership.
Pretty much. And understanding that could tell us a lot about how other pairs of objects, maybe even planets and moons, formed out there in the Kuiper Belt.
Interesting. Okay, let's shift gears a bit. You mentioned astrology. Pluto in Aquarius retrograde.
Yes. So separate from the astronomy, in astrology, Pluto is currently moving retrograde through the sign of Aquarius. This phase runs from May 4th to October 13th, 2025.
And retrograde means it looks like it's moving backwards from Earth.
Yeah. Astronomically, yes, due to orbital mechanics. Astrologically, though, these retrograde periods are often interpreted as times for deep reflection.
Reflection on what, exactly?
Things like transformation, reevaluating big structures in society, maybe even personal growth. Aquarius is linked to innovation in society, so Pluto moving backward there suggests symbolically a time to rethink those areas.
So this little distant world is making us think deep thoughts, scientifically and maybe symbolically for some.
You could look at it that way, and it all comes back to how surprisingly complex Pluto is, doesn't it?
Totally. It's smaller than our own moon, yet it's got 5 moons, complex, maybe weather patterns, and definitely geology.
Absolutely. Ice volcanoes, maybe an ocean, this intricate dance with Charon. It really punches above its weight, you could say. Size isn't everything out there.
Okay, so summing up, Pluto might have lost his planet title, but it gained, well, a whole lot of intrigue. We've got potential ice volcanoes hinting at hidden oceans.
This fascinating kiss and capture story with Charon, offering clues about the early solar system.
And even this current astrological transit prompting reflection. It's quite a story for a dwarf planet.
It really is. It's a great example of how our understanding is always shifting, and how even the smaller players in the cosmic game can hold really big surprises.
Which leaves us with a thought, doesn't it? If our view of Pluto can change so dramatically, how does that reflect on us? How willing are you to reclassify your own understanding of things, big or small, when new information comes along? Maybe looking deeper into the Kuiper Belt will keep challenging our perspectives in ways we can't even imagine yet. It's been interesting pulling apart just this one short sentence.
Yeah, amazing what you can find sometimes. Thanks for joining us for this focused deep dive.